everybody, I'm Jane. I'm an occupational therapist, and today I'm going to show you an activity that I do with a lot of my clients who are struggling to manage all the household tasks that they have. This video, I promise, is not meant to shame anybody into feeling like they're not doing enough. There's this social worker who has ADHD. Her name's Casey Davis, and she has a book where she says that keeping house or doing household tasks is morally neutral, which I really love, because a lot of times I think people feel like their self-worth is tied to their ability to be productive. And really, cleaning up your house doesn't make you a good person, and struggling to clean up your house doesn't make you a bad person. So let's throw that all out the window as we're talking about this. This video is meant for people who feel overwhelmed by this super long list of things that they feel like they should be doing. This is meant for people also who maybe have chronic fatigue and feel like, oh, I have energy. All of a sudden, I'm going to try to get done as much as I can right now and then end up feeling exhausted the rest of the week. Hopefully, the strategies that I talk about in this video can help people think about how to delegate tasks and distribute them in ways that make it so that they feel less exhausted and more accomplished, more confident in their abilities. Let's get into it. The first step that I have here is define your tasks. So I just wrote down some random household tasks that a lot of people do. These might not all be on your list, or maybe your list is 7 times longer than this. I think parents can probably relate with that. Their lists are probably a lot longer. But anyway, write down your list. You can do it now, you can do it later. And think about things that you do regularly. So don't put one-time projects that you are wanting to get done sometime. Think about things that you're wanting to have done on a recurring basis. Okay, once you have that done, we'll move on to step 2. This one is to think about how often you want these tasks to be done. Now, if you haven't cleaned your bathroom in 3 months, don't say that you want to have your bathroom cleaned every day. That's not very reasonable. Think about it in a way that you think you actually might be able to have it done. Okay. So write these down. Some of them might be as needed. I put sweeping on there as just a random example. Maybe you think that sweeping should only be done when you see dirt on the floor. That's fine. You get to make the rules for this. I think a lot of people are raised having people teach us certain ways that things need to be done. And that's not necessarily true. Maybe your parents told you you have to wash your sheets every week. Have to vacuum the floor every single day. That might not be what you think is right. And as long as you're not getting sick because of the conditions of your home, then you don't necessarily need to increase the frequency that you're already doing it right now. But just think about what is ideal for you. Okay, moving on to number 3. Think about, in this step, how you can maybe delegate some of the tasks that you have on your list. We often feel like we have to do it all ourselves, but that's not necessarily true. Maybe you're realizing your partner has been slacking a little bit around the house, and maybe there's some ways you could ask them to contribute a little bit more to the household management. You can have a conversation about it and see, maybe could you take care of the grocery shopping every week, or whatever tasks you feel that you could maybe delegate to them. Maybe you have kids and they could start doing some more chores and have more responsibilities around the house, and you could make them a chore chart. Or if it's in your means, you could maybe hire someone to help with certain tasks, maybe hiring to have your laundry done for you, or have someone clean your kitchen every couple weeks. This isn't possible for everybody. It's Maybe what you can do is invite a friend over and have them help you out, and you can exchange it for something that you could maybe help them with. Asking for help is not bad. I think a lot of us have in our mind this idea that we have to do it by ourselves. It's not true. There's nothing wrong with getting some help. All right, moving on to number 4. This step is about thinking about days and times that you can actually get these tasks done. So I went ahead and wrote down all the days of the week, and then looking up here, I moved the tasks under each day of the week. So a lot of the tasks I want these done daily, so then I put them under each day. This is a little bit easier to do if you're on a computer, but you can do it on a piece of paper too. And then for things that maybe are twice a week or 3 times a week, I just looked and thought about, what do I have going on during the week? Maybe on days where I don't have as much going on in the evenings, I can do laundry at this time. Or maybe there's a day where I have it completely open because I don't have to go to work. Then maybe that would be a good day to throw in a couple extra tasks. Scrolling down, step number 5 is to think about creating reminders for yourself. This is especially important for those tasks that you're not doing on a weekly basis. Maybe you have something that you do every month or every other month, or you have tasks that are done every other week. Having some kind of way to remind yourself of these tasks could be really beneficial. Again, not to make you feel shame and if you don't get it done, but it's just maybe a little reminder, and that's all you need to actually do it. You'll have to give it a try and see what works for you, but here's some examples of strategies you can use to help remind you of different household tasks. You could print out this list that you just made. Maybe you already hand wrote it and you can just put it on your fridge or wherever you think you'll see it. You could get a physical calendar, maybe like a dry erase board or a planner you could use. You could use a virtual assistant. Maybe you have an Alexa, sorry if it just went off, or a Google device, whatever those are, Google Home, is that what they're called? I don't know. Something like that. Or you could have on your phone a digital calendar and have notifications set up. You could have alarms go off when you want to start switching into household tasks. Maybe every evening you have an alarm go off at 8 p.m. reminding you to get certain things done. Or you could have a poster board where on one side you say to do, in the middle you say doing, and then on the other side you say done. And you can have little post-it tasks and move it from each panel to help you move along and keep track of the things you need to get done. So those are just some ideas. You might already have something you're doing. Maybe you could look into this if this is something you have a hard time with. Think about what are some strategies you could use. Okay? Step 6 is to try it. See how it works. Maybe you feel like this works really well for you. Maybe you start to feel kind of overwhelmed and like this didn't really help that much, or maybe you had too high of expectations for yourself. So just give it a try. Keep track of how you're responding to it. And then the last step I have on here is to adjust it as needed. So maybe you put dishes, you want those done every day, and realize that, okay, you don't really need to do the dishes every day. Let's just switch it to every other day. Or maybe you realize, okay, on Fridays, I'm not going to prepare any meals. I'm going to go out to eat those days instead. Or you maybe see if you have laundry on Saturday and Saturday ends up being a busier day than you thought, you can move it to Tuesday or whenever you want. So that's a little strategy. Hopefully it can help you feel a little bit more on top of things, a little less overwhelmed. And let me know what you think in the comments.